I'm 48 now, and if I could sit down with my 30 or 40-year-old self, I know exactly what I'd say. This is the advice I really wish I heard when I was younger. The money stuff that no one else tells you. Getting these things right in your 30s and 40s could open your own doors to options, adventures, and peace of mind in the years ahead. I'm Jason. I retired 9 years ago at 38. If I could go back and give my 30-something self just one piece of advice, it'd be this. No one else is coming to fix your money mess. There's no secret financial superhero about to show up and save the day. It's just you and your decisions. Good, bad, and everything in between. You know, sometimes I really wish someone had just pulled me aside and said, look, you're the only one who's going to get yourself out of this mess or get yourself where you want to go. I think we all secretly hope that someone's going to swoop in and with a magic solution, or that one day our future self will just suddenly have it all figured out. But that's not how it works. Some days, motivation, it just isn't there. You have to dig deep and build it yourself. Inspiration, same deal. It's on you. But honestly, that's not as intimidating as it sounds. Once you realize that you don't need anyone's permission to start making changes, it's actually kind of freeing. If you ever feel overwhelmed or wish you had someone to guide you, just remember this. You're way more capable than you think. You can be your own coach. You can be the one who sparks that first little push forward. At the end of the day, it's really all in your hands, and that's actually a really good place to be. Now, the second thing that I would advise my younger self is don't get trapped in the routine. It's way too easy to slip into autopilot. Same old habits, playing life safe, hoping something magically will just change down the line. But honestly, if you keep running the same plans, you're only going to get the same results that left you frustrated in the first place. I've lived it. If I'd stuck to everyone else's script, I'd still be punching the clock, paying the mortgage, keeping my head down. I would have missed out on seeing the world, never stepped foot in Asia, never met my wife in Cambodia. I know following a script feels comfortable, sure, but it shrinks your life down to what you already know. And look, I get it. Change is daunting. Sometimes it flat out scares me. But when I look back, every truly good thing in my life came from making a move that I was scared to make. Every breakthrough happened because I set aside what was expected and did something different, no matter how anxious it made me. Now, you might need to pivot sharply, swallow your pride, ditch some old plan, or start completely from scratch. But don't let fear keep you pinned in place. Give yourself permission to think a little bit bigger with your life and your money. Take those leaps, even if you're building your safety net on the way down. So put on your grown-up pants and give it a shot. The only way things really change is if you're willing to break out of the pattern and try something new. Trust me, your future self will thank you for having the guts to shake things up. Real quick, if these two pieces of advice are hitting home, go ahead and hit the like button. It really does help support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. One of the toughest lessons I wish I'd picked up sooner is this. Sometimes you got to let go of certain people. And I know that can seem harsh, but if there are people in your life who don't support your goals or who keep trying to pull you in a direction that you don't want to go, whether that's financially or in your career or just through their outlook on life, you really need to rethink their place in your story. Chasing financial independence, especially something as off the beaten path as FIRE, can get very lonely at times. Not everyone's going to understand it, and some will flat out try to talk you out of making those big changes. You might even catch a few eye rolls or hear some jokes about how crazy your plans are. They're just trying to protect their own comfort, not yours. The truth is, your energy, your time, they're valuable. Don't waste either on people who drain you or try to pull you back into habits that you know don't serve you anymore. On the other hand, make an effort to find people who are further along the path that you want to walk. Find folks who understand what you're trying to accomplish or who already carry the mindset that you admire. Attach yourself to those people. Learn from their experiences. Let their encouragement and hard-won wisdom keep you going, especially in the days when your own motivation starts slipping. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, not those who drag you down. You want to look for people whose values line up where you want to go, not just where you've been. Every once in a while, take a hard look at your relationships. Are they fueling your growth or are they holding you back? It's never easy to make these choices, but being intentional about the people that you let influence your life can make all the difference between staying stuck and truly moving forward. In my experience, the company you keep shapes your habits, and your habits shape your future. So choose wisely, my friend. Now, for number 4, I'm going to give it to you straight. Stuff isn't what matters. Those shoes, that new car, the next gadget, they'll never actually give you what you're looking for. The excitement fades, the shine wears off, and usually you're just left with more clutter and, well, less money. What actually matters is letting your money work for you quietly and steadily. While most people are busy trying to look rich, your dollars could be out there growing, compounding, quietly building the safety net that future you will be grateful for. You don't need anyone's applause or approval while your investments do their thing. See, real wealth, it isn't flashy. It's what goes on behind the scenes. Retirement accounts, investments, that comfortable buffer that lets you sleep well at night. So don't waste your energy on keeping up with anyone else or trying to show off. Looking rich is loud, but being genuinely secure is silent. And honestly, it's nobody else's business anyway. So here's what I say to both myself and to you. Stop stressing over impressing other people. Shift your focus away from buying more stuff and put that same energy into building real freedom. Let your wealth grow quietly in the background where it actually matters. Because in the end, it's not about what you can show off. It's about the peace and the choices that you buy for yourself, even if nobody else notices. That's what counts. Hang tight. Coming up, I'll share one of the most important shifts that changed everything for me. How your mindset shapes your entire financial journey, no matter what life throws at you. Trust me, this is the kind of advice that sticks with you long after the numbers fade. You don't want to miss it. The 5th thing I tell my 20, 30, or 40-year-old self is a big one. Start investing and do it as early and as aggressively as you possibly can. Seriously, if you're anywhere between 25 and 40, this is your shot to give your future self the biggest gift you'll ever get. And here's why. Compound interest isn't just another finance term. It's the real magic at work behind the scenes. The more you put away now, the more time your dollars have to multiply, quietly stacking up real wealth while you get on living your life. Every dollar you invest in your 20s and 30s is buying future freedom. Actual decades of less worry, less work, and more choices down the road. What nobody really tells you straight is that you're going to pay for it either way. You can either put in the effort and prioritize investing while you're young, when you've got the energy, the health, and a little more flexibility in your budget, or you can leave it for later and end up stressed and scrambling in your 60s, wishing that you'd started sooner. Investing early means making the most of your best years. That's when taking bold steps is easier and any sacrifices have more time to pay off. Wait too long and you're at risk of being stuck with regret and having to work way harder just to catch up. If you want your future self to be grateful, do the hard thing now and stretch a little further, even if it's uncomfortable. Make investing a priority and let compounding do the work. That way, when you hit your 60s, you'll have options, the chances to travel, relax, or simply breathe easier knowing that you paid yourself first instead of playing catch up later. Trust me, your future self will be glad that you did. Here's my 6th piece of advice, and it's simple. Start now. Don't put things off. Every year you wait, it just gets harder. I know it's tempting to tell yourself that you'll handle your finances later, maybe after the next raise or when life calms down, but the longer you wait, the steeper that climb gets. Picture hitting 50 or 55 and suddenly you're realizing that you need to hustle financially. It's like trying to run a marathon after years on the couch. Exhausting, stressful, and way tougher than it had to be. Most folks in that situation will tell you that they wish they'd started earlier, back in their 30s or 40s, instead of scrambling at the last minute. It's like watching a basketball team only turn on the effort in the last 2 minutes, hustling desperately, but always wondering, why didn't they just play like that from the start? You don't want that last minute scramble with your money. Treat your early years as the beginning of the game, not the last desperate play. Don't coast and hope that a frantic push will save you later. Start building, saving, and investing now while you have the time and energy. The earlier you get moving, the more flexibility and peace that you'll have down the road. Give it your all from the beginning. Your future self will be grateful. The 7th thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is one of the heaviest yet most freeing pieces of advice I wish I'd heard earlier. And that's forgive your parents as early as possible. Chances are they did what they could with what they had. Maybe they didn't give you all the opportunities you wanted. Maybe money was always tight. Or maybe you watched them make choices that you promised yourself you'd never repeat. But nobody gets a perfect start, and no one's parents get it all right. We all inherit some gaps or old wounds, and that's just part of the deal. Holding on to resentment over what your parents could or couldn't do just makes your journey heavier. So the sooner you let go of those old disappointments, the lighter you'll feel. You don't need to keep living with your story stuck on replay, wishing your childhood had been different. Forgiving yourself is just as important. Everybody messes up, especially with money. That's part of being human. What matters way more than any mistake is your willingness to recognize, forgive, and move forward. Notice that your parents, like you, were doing the best that they could, usually with limited knowledge or resources. So trying to rewrite your childhood in your mind only holds you back. Letting go of what you picked up along the way and shifting your focus to where you want to go next is how you actually make progress. Real growth on any front means leaving that old emotional baggage behind, forgiving what happened, and keeping your eyes on the path ahead. That's what moving forward really looks like. The eighth thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self: take care of your body. Seriously, just move more. Walk, lift weights, break a sweat a few times a week. There's no point in building up a healthy nest egg if your body's not ready to enjoy it. I didn't really get this until I hit 40 and finally made movement a real priority, got my first gym membership. So if I could do it over, I'd start sooner, no question. Physical health isn't about looks, it's about energy and being able to keep going as you age. The habits that you set in your 30s and 40s stick with you in every decade that comes next. Nothing stings more than having the time and money for experiences, but realizing that your body can't keep up. So if you're in your 30s and 40s, don't wait around for a scare to get started. Find the type of exercise you enjoy and keep it sustainable. Your future self wants more than just a healthy 401k. They want to actually enjoy it, full of energy and freedom. Start now. You'll be grateful when you're able to enjoy all the things that you work so hard for. The ninth thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is that what you focus on actually gets bigger. Wherever you put your energy, good or bad, starts to take up more space in your life. If I could get my younger self to understand just one thing about money and life, it would be how powerful intention really is. If you're always stuck on what's wrong, debts, setbacks, things you wish you'd done differently, you end up just making the same problems larger. Worry and shame pile up and suddenly you feel stuck. But when you shift your energy to even just one positive step, like paying off a bit of debt or checking with your net worth, you start to feel real momentum. You stop feeling so heavy and small wins add up. It's not really about whether someone's lucky or has it easy, it's about what they choose to focus on. If you only see problems, you'll keep finding them. But if you look for opportunity, even tiny ones, more of them will start to appear. So if I could hammer home one thing, it's this: look forward, not back. Focus on what you can improve, learn from, or fix. Don't waste energy on blame or regret. Even if believing things can improve feels a little forced at first, that's how change really gets started. It's not about ignoring your problems, but about taking care of what you want to grow. When you keep your attention on building something better, even in small ways, you lay the groundwork for real abundance, one step at a time. So stay focused on solutions, keep your eyes forward, and trust that what you nurture will become your reality. The 10th thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is that your life and your money will only get better when you do. Any real change, whether it's a healthier bank account, smarter investments, more confidence, or better choices, starts from inside. Nothing improves by accident. It's easy to wait around for luck to strike or for someone else to swoop in and fix things for you. But the truth is, nothing changes unless you make changes yourself. So if you want bigger results, you got to take a hard look at your own habits, routines, and the stories that you tell yourself about money. Progress happens when you invest in learning, self-improvement. Pick up a book, sign up for a course, or challenge that old habit that you know isn't working. Every one little step in the right direction is enough to get things moving. When you tackle the spending habits that are holding you back, track your money honestly, even when it's uncomfortable, and begin dipping your toes in investing, even if it's confusing at first, you start to shift the whole trajectory of your finances. And it's not just money. This lesson hits home in every part of your life: your health, your relationships, even your day-to-day perspective. The outer stuff changes only when you do. So if you're wanting more in your life, don't look out, look in. Check your routines, level up your discipline, and keep your mind open to change. That's when the story shifts. And the best part, even the smallest step counts. The very moment that you start working on yourself, everything else slowly follows. Your new chapter begins the second that you decide it's time. That's where real progress starts. For number 11, here's what I wish I could really drive home to my younger self. Today, right now, is as young as you're ever going to be. You might be in your 30s, maybe 40s, and feeling like you've got all the time in the world. But trust me, time doesn't slow down. If anything, it goes by quicker and quicker each year. And you don't get to hit pause or rewind. Those days when you're waiting for the right time or holding back and hoping that things will just magically shift, those days are gone for good once they pass. Sometimes opportunities, whether with your money or your life, won't circle back around. They're a one-time offer. That's why it's so crucial to grab the chances you have, both with your finances and with your life, while they're right in front of you. Don't wait for everything to feel perfect or for life to settle down, because it usually doesn't. The best moment you're going to have is the one you've got right now. You'll never be younger than you are today, and tomorrow shows up quicker than you think. The only real moment you can act on is this one, so make it count. Now, the 12th thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is this: make helping others and giving a central part of your life. Do it not because you're hoping for a reward down the line, but simply because it's the right thing to do. Back when I was younger, I was so easy to focus on my own grind. Career, money, getting ahead. It seemed like that's what mattered most. The older I get, though, the more I see that the real cost of all the good stuff in life, the joy, the beauty, the privilege of just living, is taking the time to reach out and support someone else along the way. Because none of us is an island. We're all part of something bigger. And life means the most when you use it to lift someone up, even in small ways. Maybe that's sharing your time, helping a neighbor, offering a little guidance, or just showing up for a friend when they need it. For me, some of that looks like making these videos, pouring my energy in, hoping that they help or inspire even just one person. The point of giving isn't to drain yourself or wait on thanks. It's about being grateful for what you already have. It's about realizing that part of what makes a rich life is making it richer for someone else too. When you look back, those are the moments that really matter. The people you helped, the impact you had, that's the small price for everything life gives you in return. So help, give. Don't wait for recognition or just do it because you feel like you're supposed to. Do it because you want to pay it forward and because that's what makes life truly fulfilling. All right, number 13 is something I wish someone had driven home for me much earlier. Don't just hope for your money to work itself out. Make an actual plan. Wishing and winging it is how money slips through the cracks, leaving you stressed and wondering, where did it all go? Building a real plan, even if it's just a simple outline, gives you direction. It doesn't need to be perfect, and you'll almost certainly update it as your life changes. But having clear goals and strategies means that when a new job, investment, or a big purchase comes up, you can ask, does this fit my bigger picture? The best part of having a plan is that it puts you in the driver's seat. You stop reacting and start deciding with purpose, aligning your choices, both big and small, with what actually matters to you. So do yourself a favor. Take a little time and lay out your plan. Write down what you want, sketch out some milestones, and be honest about what financial independence means for you, not just what everyone else says it should be. And adjust that plan as needed and let it guide you. That's how you stop drifting and start steering your financial life. The final thing I tell my 30 or 40-year-old self is that you can't control everything that happens to you. Life will throw you curveballs. But you are always in charge of how you respond and how you think about those moments. That mindset is everything. It shapes the choices you make, and those choices, little by little, shape your reality. Too many people in their 30s and 40s make money mistakes that they'll feel for years. Now, you can bounce back from missteps in your 20s, but your 30s and 40s are your foundation. So ignore this season and you might spend your later years just catching up. So focus on your mindset. Challenge what's holding you back. Pay attention to negativity and practice looking for solutions. When you work on how you think, your actions and results shift in real ways. At the end of the day, the life you have later depends on how you show up for yourself now. You don't need to have everything figured out, but do take care of your health, protect your mindset, and keep investing for your future. See, nobody else is better suited to look out for future you than you are today. And don't forget to look out for others along the way. The journey is less lonely and richer when you help someone else too. So take care of yourself and take care of other people. That's the kind of wealth that really matters. It's never too late or too early to start building it. And if you want more no-nonsense retirement advice like this, go ahead and hit subscribe now. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.